Hello, I'm Ginger Chang. Welcome to USTC360. It's great to see you again. Our feature story today takes us back to the South American country of Chile. Chile's capital city, Santiago, is the biggest city in the nation and has a population of over 5 million people. It is a bustling metropolis with a modern subway system and a location where residents and visitors alike can view the majestic Andean Mountain Range. However, when it comes down to Santiago's waste management, there is still room for improvement. According to the local paper Santiago Times, every year, Chile produces more than 15 million tons of trash, and most of it is generated in Santiago. Recycling is more common on a commercial and industrial level. Another factor is the lack of a sufficient collection system that is able to ensure a constant supply of plastic waste to recycling plants. Furthermore, most of the population and government institutions are not aware of the benefits of plastic recycling. However, there are people in Santiago who are taking a stand. In continuation of our coverage on Tzu Chi's goodwill in Chile, let's take a look at what the local volunteers, mainly overseas Taiwanese entrepreneurs, have been doing for the past year to promote recycling initiative in the community. Our factory burned down about 6 to 7 years ago. It took us more than 10 years of dedication and hard work to establish this factory, but it was destroyed in just 10 minutes. We started to rebuild it afterwards, but at the time I was over 40 and my husband was already in his 50s. It was very difficult for us to do the rebuilding at that age. Life is full of unexpected incidents. You never know when something can happen to you. There are times when we make money, but it could be taken away from us instantly. When I listen to Master Zheng Yan's teachings, they resonate in my heart. I feel that we should do something worthwhile and beneficial to others in our lifetime. If we don't follow the Master's teachings, we may miss many worthwhile opportunities to do good deeds. We went to visit patients suffering from cerebral palsy and then recorded our thoughts and experiences afterwards. The purpose was to use these real stories to tell people where their money was being spent and what we did to help others. I am a strong-willed person, so when I joined Tzu Chi, I was determined to work hard. I knew that I couldn't bear it if Tzu Chi Foundation failed in Chile. My husband and I were determined to work hard no matter how difficult it may be, and we would always be willing to lead in the helping of others. Working towards Tzu Chi's missions really fills us with happiness. Since last August, every one of us has kept a record of our monthly income from recycling efforts. I also use my own vehicle as a recycling truck.
We would arrange time to pick up the recyclables when they call us. If we can't take it all at once, then we would come back for a second run. After they pack all the cardboard, we can then take it away and recycle it. We coordinate among volunteers and take turns to work on recycling. We became more and more recognized by local residents and fellow overseas Chinese.
It was a kind of benefit for my employees. They collected and redeemed recyclable items in order to purchase cakes or cookies. However, once we learned about Tzu Chi's charity work, we have donated all the recyclables to Tzu Chi, so they will have additional funding to help poor people.
I like to help people. I also do it for the polluted earth, because these things can be trash, but it's better we fix them and sell them. We are glad to be able to resell them.
Otras veces se puede ir a la basura, mejor lo recogemos y se vende y se saca provecho para poder venderlo.
It's
tougher for Nelson. When I'm out of town on business trips, he would have to recycle everything by himself. When I'm here, I work with him.
This way we can help the people who need it. Just help, 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 and help. This will provide my children with a clean and pure country as well.
Y puro.
The
plastic bottles floating on the surface of the river are not biodegradable at all. So it's better to begin by collecting those bottles. Thinking about this kind of disaster pollution, I began to chant in my mind, and soon I found peace in my heart again. Through recycling plastic bottles, we have somehow reduced our arrogant behavior, as well as helped cultivate wisdom. Buddha told us that if there is no planet Earth, there will be no offspring. I love my children and grandchildren and would rather leave them a clean and resourceful Earth than personal property. Without our planet, everything else is futile and useless.
I love watching Dai TV programs and have been very appreciative in seeing Master Zheng Yan encouraging people to recycle for over 20 years now. Ever since Tzu Chi Foundation was established here in Chile, my first thought has been to start a recycling project. We have been hiking on this mountain for over 10 years, and we noticed one day that there were many discarded bottles along the trails. A group of us began picking up that trash while hiking along the trails. We felt a little bit embarrassed at the beginning, but gradually we got used to it. Many other hikers and bikers even thanked us for our efforts. We felt that we are not only working on recycling, but also educating others. In return, they appreciated our efforts.
We also told our hiking friends about this. We not only can hike and exercise, we can also protect the environment by doing recycling. All of my friends soon joined in our efforts.
I used to hike every day to exercise and protect the well-being of my body. Now, I can do more meaningful things besides just taking care of my own body by picking up those discarded bottles along the hiking trails.
Because I like to help, I feel good helping. Because I can learn and get to know other people's lives who don't have money like us.
We saw you come to this place and recycle everything we threw away. There were plastics, cardboard boxes, and glass. After we saw what you use them for in your activities, we thought it would be better to give you these recyclables than to give it to the trash collector.
Participar en esto como familia es muy grato, nos ayuda a...
It's very welcoming to participate in this event like a family. It helps us see there are others who need more help than us. At the same time, we also do recycling and know that by recycling we're cleaning the planet. We're working together for the children and others in need so they can have better lives.
Puedan tener una vida un poco mejor.
Tzu Chi's recycling program started over 20 years ago when Master Zheng Yan appealed to an audience in Taitung City, Taiwan, that we should use our own two hands to help protect the planet. Yet, the global accumulation of plastic bottles remains a major concern. A study conducted by the Earth Policy Institute states the US alone manufactures nearly 28 billion plastic bottles to package water each year. Plastic bottles not only require a large consumption of energy to make, but are also non-biodegradable. The good news is that it can be recycled repeatedly to find a new life in different products without ending up in landfills. During their hike to gather recyclables in Cerro San Cristobal, Santiago's biggest park, Tzu Chi volunteers encountered a homeless man named Anibal Rojas. At first, Anibal misunderstood the volunteers' intentions for taking his own collection of tin cans because he relied on the items to make a living. But after the volunteers explained to Anibal, the money made from selling the plastic bottles and cans was to help children with the cerebral palsy, Anibal was moved by the charitable cause and donated his whole collection. Once we found a pile of collected recyclables at a picnic area in the mountain. We didn't know that they were someone's property, so we started to flatten and put them together. At that moment, a homeless person showed up and asked who we were and why do we take his things. He said that he depended on them to make a living. We were very embarrassed and returned all of them to him and explained that we didn't know they belonged to him. He asked why we wanted to collect recyclables, so one of our volunteers explained that we were trying to use the funds to receive for them to help children with cerebral palsy. After a few seconds, he said that he would give them to us, as well as all of the recyclables he had stored in his little hut. He even made a promise to donate all the recyclables that he collects on Saturdays and Sundays to Tzu Chi. He said that he would only keep those recyclables that he collects during the week for himself. He stressed to us, "It's enough for me to live on those funds. It's good enough just to have enough."
In the beginning, yes, because that was how I earned money for food. One can more or one can less doesn't make me any richer or poorer. Those children needed it more than I do. I come and go. They are all growing and they needed it. I felt overwhelmed. I feel at peace with myself.
Conforme conmigo mismo. Y estoy en paz conmigo mismo también. El otro día nos junto yo paso más en el centro.
The other day, separately, I passed by the nursing home, walking and eating with the money I earned. Like I said before, it would cover me the whole week. And to be more ambitious, I can even drink more, which would be fine for me.
Más tomaría. Y con eso estoy bien. Lo admiro.
I admire you, because you have the opportunities to do things that one can't do. We have to learn more from you to get in the habit of recycling. We didn't have the habit of recycling. Even though I recycled for myself in order to eat, but not anymore. Now I recycle to help others.
Bueno, ahí...
Well, I get emotional talking about it. What touched me the most were the applauses, because I went and said what I needed to say. I gave away the cans that I used for my food, but I feel good. I feel comfortable. And I'm grateful, and also to you. This is like a different way of living, and I feel good for myself. I'm in peace.
Me siento bien conmigo mismo y en paz.
Yes, I was emotional that day. It is very rare for me to get so emotional because I'm a very tough person. I don't cry. It's good to participate in the foundation. Like the doctor told me the other time, that I belong to this foundation, that I am now a member. So as I told you, I will collect as much cans as I can. And I will take care of them and give them away. Hope is never lost for one who leaves the streets. To leave is because I've learned to relieve in myself. I will also quit smoking and drinking because they are hurting my body, and I've learned from you a different lifestyle. Because now I think before I act. I used to act before thinking. I learned from you, and also learned from the books from the master. I learned to be more, to think about my actions before doing it. I try to do things correctly. Well, not a lot, just little by little. I lived on the streets for many years with a very distinct way of life. And now, with you, I am learning to live differently. Thank you for the blessing. I will continue to work for the grand mission of this foundation.
After we flatten them, we remove the stickers and caps from the bottles. We also need to clean them.
We need to clean those soda containers. We learned how to recycle correctly from Da TV programs.
After cleaning the bottles, we sort them by color. These bottles without color are worth 160 pesos per kilogram, but color bottles are worth only 110 pesos per kilogram. If we don't sort them, they're only worth 80 pesos per kilogram. The bottle caps are also worth 80 pesos per kilogram. By sorting them, we maximize our income. We treat sorting the bottles as a form of exercise, but at the same time, we get to sell them at a higher price. Each week, we earn approximately 100,000 pesos.
Soy bella, ¿cierto?
I feel that they're like my own children. You can tell from their facial expressions that they have given all of their appreciation and love to you. I feel so satisfied and happy when I return home.
Yeah, I see.
Anibal Rojas earned money by renting out barbecue racks to campers and selling recyclables, just enough to help him get by. He never expected the bags of aluminum cans he donated to Tzu Chi would ever make a difference for anyone else. Yet when Tzu Chi volunteers invited him to the nursing home in June, Anibal was touched to see his contribution had helped them raise enough money to build insulated glass panels for the children. Although Anibal doesn't wear Tzu Chi's signature navy and white uniforms, he proudly says he is a Tzu Chi member. In our next segment, Footprints, we bring you the story of Amy Ye, a Tzu Chi volunteer from the New York chapter. Amy owned an auto repair shop and was introduced to Tzu Chi by her business partner in 1991. However, 4 years later, she closed her business and began to dedicate most of her time to volunteering and Tzu Chi activities. Over the past 16 years, she's been active as a volunteer. She realized one truth, which is, there are places in the world Tzu Chi volunteers never dreamt of going to, but because of Tzu Chi, they have. Let's take a look at Amy's story.
Master Zhengyan often says people already have many possessions, yet they always want more. I believe that I can be content with my life and share Tzu Chi's 4 magic soup, which is made of contentment, gratitude, understanding, and accommodation to everyone. Because of Master's great teaching, I can now feel very happy. I often tell the Tzu Chi supporters, if one is content and happy, that is enough. The division I've done the most for in Tzu Chi is assisting in international disaster relief. I have traveled more than 10 times to places such as Colombia, Guatemala, Bolivia, El Salvador, Haiti, Chile, and Peru. So whenever I go on these trips, I end up at the most seriously affected areas of the disaster site because Tzu Chi's approach towards international relief aid is immediate, straightforward, and practical. Everywhere we go, we see people suffering. I have seen garbage dumps in which people, pigs, and dogs were all picking for food to eat at the same time. At that moment, I wondered, why must they suffer so much? In the past, working and raising 3 kids made me feel that my life was very pitiful. But seeing others suffer much more, I now consider myself blessed, with much more blessing than they have received. Sometimes, in the past, other Tzu Chi members are very kind and told me, I can't go, so you go and help me do the work. I'll pay for your airplane ticket. I am so happy and grateful that Master Zhengyan founded the Tzu Chi Foundation because it has allowed me to enter the world of Tzu Chi, where I have received many blessings and am able to follow in the Master's footsteps forever.
The heartwarming scenes put together by New York Tzu Chi volunteers were from Amy's farewell party. After being here for 31 years, she is moving back to Taiwan on August 8th. She plans to live and volunteer in Hualien. The New York Tzu Chi chapter will definitely miss her positive energy, particularly the hard-to-find tasty Taiwanese snacks she makes for everyone. I'm Ginger Chang. Thank you for watching USTC360. We'll see you next week.